It's Friday. My last couple videos, they were a little bit saddening, downers in the nerd community. I mean, granted, the stuff about making fun of Robin Hood was absolutely hilarious, and dunking on Wizards of the Coast is always fun, but as a whole, those were about bad news for the nerd community. We got to end Friday night on something positive. That's why I want to talk about the new live-action Pokemon TV show. And yes, I did say positive. I think that's a positive, and let me tell you why. Because it's Japanese. That might be the only downside to this, though. So far, there's no announcement for an English release. But that being said, a trailer's dropped, a couple of articles have dropped, and I want to go over it because it's not what you would think. You hear live-action Pokemon TV show, it's not what you think. So yeah, welcome back to Words of Paradise. I'm your host, Leon Idle. Before we get into the articles covering this TV show, please do go ahead and drop me a subscribe. I would really appreciate it. I'm trying to get to 2,000 subscribers before the end of the year, and you could definitely help me with that as we continue to cover nerdy news every day. With that said, let's get to the article, shall we? Here's the first trailer for the live-action Pokemon series, how the show starts later this month in Japan. Now, for all you guys that saw my video earlier about Robin Hood, and I was talking about VPNs, you're going to want to break your VPN out for this. Your boy's going to, because right now it's only in Japan. Hopefully, there's an option for subtitles in English, because this sounds incredible. A trailer for Poketsume, a new live-action TV show from the Pokemon Company, has been released. The show follows Madoka Agaki, a university graduate from a small port town who decides to quit her job as a seafood manufacturer and moves to Tokyo to join a small advertising agency called Adventure. I love this. So this doesn't take place in the Pokemon universe. As you guys are going to learn when I read through here, it takes place in our world, and she uses her love and nostalgia for playing Pokemon as a kid to navigate the real world. And does that not just sound heartwarming to you guys? Like, tell me you guys don't do the same thing. I know that when I'm in, struggling in certain life situations or whatnot, I do think back to old issues of Spider-Man I've read, or old episodes of Dragon Ball Z or whatnot, and think, how would Peter Parker, how would Goku have handled this situation? And it brings me hope. It builds me up a little bit. So we actually get to see a TV show do the same thing. I also love the respect that video games are starting to get in the mainstream. I mean, we already saw the movie Tetris, which wasn't a video game movie like Super Mario Bros. It was a video game movie in that it was a movie about the inception, about the creation of the game Tetris, and it was loved by critics. We recently got Gran Turismo. Again, it was not an adaptation of the Gran Turismo game, but it was a sports movie, really, about a boy who was so good at Gran Turismo, he used that to actually go into real-life racing. Like, the fact that these movies, and again, that was loved by the audiences. It did a pretty good job commercially, and it did all right with audience as well. They seem to really like it. We're at a point where video games are actually being taken seriously as an art form, and that's being translated to how real-world people are using their love for video games and what those emotions do for them and put it in original stories with video games as a backdrop rather than it being based on the entirety of the IP itself. And I think that's really cool to see. Although she used to dream about living in Tokyo, once she gets there, Madoka soon realizes everyday life isn't what she expected, and she starts to stress when she takes a presentation that could result in the fate of her company resting in her hands. So yeah, homegirl, she got a lot on her plate, so what's gonna help her? Playing Pokemon to de-stress. I like the sound of that. I know that when, COVID was rampant in 2020, and let's be real, while it wasn't that bad, we still were all locked inside our houses for quite a while, and during, it was 2022, I believe, last year when Arceus released, or maybe 2021. Either way, man, do you know how many people got the Pokemon Arceus game during the COVID era, and they thought that it was an incredible way to spend their time? Same with Pokemon Snap. Man, when I was locked indoors, when my city wasn't opening up, I played hours of Pokemon Snap. The sequel, new Pokemon Snap on the Switch. I think this is the ultimate IP to showcase growth and nostalgia when the real world has not turned out like you expected. And the fact that it's actually the Pokemon Company behind this, I have no doubt that they're going to make this work. Madoka receives a package from her mother containing the Game Boy Pocket and a copy of Pokemon Red she used to play as a child. She starts playing the game and realizes it contains something that's important in life. The show is billed as the world's first Pokemon human drama in which the main character grows through their experiences playing Pokemon. I'm all for it. This is, dude, J-dramas and K-dramas are awesome. There's just something about the Asian culture that knows how to do drama in a way so much better than we do here in the West. So if we're looking at a real-life Pokemon human drama, it comes out literally later this month. Like I said earlier, break out your VPN. This sounds adorable. Descriptions for several other characters in the show have also been released via Cerebi. Characters will be based on certain Pokemon. For example, Kageki Hiyama is reportedly based on Charmander, who feels his flame is about to extinguish. Now, let's watch the trailer. The trailer's in Japanese. I'm going to commentate over it a little bit, for copyright purposes and whatnot. I'm not going to be able to understand anything, but I think that the context will be given enough, so let's go. Alright, so there, we got the main girl, looks like leaving her house for the first time. She's traveling to Tokyo. Listen to that Route 1 music. Does that not make you just feel like so... It's gotta make you feel... If you were an old school Gen 1er like your boy here, then that music makes you feel good. Pokemon Red was my first... Well, I got Red and Yellow actually right around the same time. I don't remember which I got first. But point is, this was my generation. This is what first hit me with Pokemon. I'm gonna be among the people that can truly empathize with this character. I hope you are as well. Here she is. She's getting the game. First time she's played it in years.
Pokémon.
Oh, that's right. But blowing on your cartridges, blowing your Game Boy, it doesn't actually do anything. But you know what? It's just part of the feel, part of the vibe. Oh, she chose Charmander. See, it seems like she's got some newfound confidence. She's ready to go take on her job because she's been learning. She's been traveling in the digital land with her... I said in the digital land, which makes you think I'm referencing Digimon. I meant like she's, digital as in her Game Boy. Anyway, she's been learning her life lessons from playing Pokemon, and now she's got this newfound confidence to walk into her job. This is a character I feel like I'm going to be able to root for. She's got such a pretty smile. I don't know who that is, but probably like a dickhead coworker that she's gonna have to use her, face up to in one way or another based on what she's learned in the Pokemon game. Probably same here for like her boss. Magikarp. Hey, okay, so that kid was playing a Switch, so it looks like there's going to be like a generational difference maybe. That could be interesting to see how that's tackled. That's another thing that both K and J dramas do really well. Like, while they are dramatic, they always throw in, or at least the ones I've seen, throw in a good amount of humor that, like, they're good for breaking tense moments, or maybe not breaking tense moments, but breaking up the drama of everything when it's needed. Like, a good filmmaker knows when to put something humorous in something that's otherwise dramatic, and I think that works really well in a lot of the J and K dramas I've seen. Oh, hold on. What was that? I think I just noticed something. Let's check. Oh, hold on. I didn't go back far enough. There we go. Yeah, okay. So this looks like this is probably her boss. That is not the character of Red. I think that's... So this is all new for the show. That looks like her, and this is her boss. I mean, when I hit play, you'll see it. I think they're actually adding animations from the game that are not actually Game Boy. Like, all original animations made to look... So they're gonna, like, partially tell the story through the Game Boy itself. That'll be cool. So yeah, that's totally her boss. Or whoever that guy was. I assume boss. Okay, so that was probably the character that the article said was based on Charizard, or Charmander, who feels like his flame's about to be extinguished. Just looking at the color palette here. Link cables, baby. Link cables, look at that. That is, anyone that did not grow up riding the bus and using link cables with your buddies, you had a failure of a childhood. I hate to be the one to break it to you, but if this does not bring back just the utmost joyous memories, you failed as a childhood, you got no reason to grow into an adult, you're probably an Eric July detractor. I don't know what to say. That looks awesome. And there you have it. That's the news. That's the new Pokemon TV show. Poketsune, I believe they said it was called. I'm stoked for this. Like, this is what I want nerd culture to be about. Seeing something cool and reacting to it and being so happy and so excited. Do you realize how long it's been since we've had something like, okay, probably, actually no, it has been a while, because I wasn't excited for One Piece. I ended up loving it, and I'm glad to have been proven wrong, but I wasn't excited for it. I don't know a lot of people that were. It was just nice to be proven wrong, but this, I'm excited for this. When's the last time some sort of adaptation or IP-based movie or video game or TV show or whatnot was announced, and you were hyped for it? This may be your first time hearing about this on this channel. This channel might be your introduction to this new Pokemon show. And if it was, and if you're into it, and if you're like, wow, this looks really good, dude, I hope you find a way to watch it. We can watch it together. We'll talk about it in the comments. We'll get some fan theories going. Hopefully, again, there's subtitles. But I don't know, did this seem up your alley? Do you want to see that? Do you want to see a drama made by the Pokemon company that doesn't actually have to do with the Pokemon themselves? It's not a live-action version of the Pokemon. It is a live-action Pokemon show about how people in the real world have responded to Pokemon and what it's done for them. I think this is a brilliant idea for a show, and if it can stick the landing, again, I'm going to look at like something like Tetris, or yeah, I think Tetris is probably the best example we can use of something that's come out in the modern day. I love seeing video games getting this treatment and this sort of respect. But those are just my opinions. Let me know yours in the comments down below, or let me know on X, where you can find me at BoltTheWord. And please do subscribe. I am a nerdy news channel. I cover nerdy news every day, usually through a bit of a negative lens. If you saw some of my videos earlier, hey, it's not my fault nerd culture sucks right now, but we're on our way to fighting that. And when good things like this come out, then we gotta support these as well. So hopefully this is good so that we can continue to support it. But yes, please do follow me not only on YouTube here, drop me that subscription. I'm trying to get to 2,000 by the end of the year, so it'd be much appreciated. But also, if you want, you can check me out on Instagram at wordsofparadise_Leon, where, I post pictures of what I'm doing in the day-to-day life, like, the upcoming Magic the Gathering tournament I'm going to, or if you know that I'm on the carnivore diet, some of my carnivore recipes. But until next time, it's all here in the Nerdosphere, and this has been Words of Paradise.